Hello, and welcome to the Anderson County Library Program Proposal. My name is Vanessa Salazar Putilieco, and my co-partner in crime is Morgan Farmer, and this is our proposal for our project. In our project, we are going to discuss about the purpose of program and overview, community demographics, targeted audience, proposed service, program requirements, community partnerships, the SWOT analysis, program evaluation, and our conclusion. We have also included our references for this project. And now, I'll be off to Morgan.
For the purpose of this program we are proposing in this presentation, we propose a tutoring program to give non-native English speakers the opportunity to learn and practice English with experienced tutors. For our demographics, we have statistics for both Anderson County and the Anderson County Library System. As of 2023, population in Anderson County is around 207,000 people. 98% of the population in the county are U.S. citizens, with 75.5% of the population being white, 13.6% Black or African American, 4.92% Hispanic, and 16.19% Asian or Asian American or non-Hispanic in general. Statistics for the Anderson County Library System. As of 2024, there are around 114,499 total cardholders, according to the 2024 Community Report published by the library. The library system also reports that attendance for library events is increasing by around 13%, according to the library's 2024 Strategic Plan Update Report. Our target audience for this program is the non-English speakers in Anderson County, which includes the Hispanic and Asian/Asian American communities. To create interest in this program, we hope to use the online platforms, such as the library's website, social media accounts, and online newsletter, to get word out to the community. We also plan to send out an interest survey to measure program interest, and we also plan to create displays at the library featuring the program through flyers or program advertisements. Our proposed program is to be utilized as a tutoring service for non-native English speakers who are learning the English language or would like to practice their English language skills. This program will help English learners with skills such as writing in English, speaking in English, and reading in English by connecting them with tutors who have experience working with non-native English speakers. This is to help program participants in their communication skills due to Anderson County's high population of English speakers. This will be a beneficial program also for those who are in university to gain volunteer/work experience in a library as an intern, through working as a tutor and helping those who are learning the English language in a professional setting. Through this experience, the tutor will be able to gain skills that they can use in the future as a form of internship with the library.
In order for us to be able to get the program requirements needed, we require three things. The first being tutors. They must have knowledge and proficiency in the English language and knowledge of teaching English for non-native English speakers. This is a great opportunity for those who are in the university that are learning to wanting to get that experience in teaching English, especially those who have a minor in ESOL or ESL, which is English for speakers of other languages. This will be great for them to be able to utilize those skills and have experience be gained from doing this. We also are proposing of having library personnel, library system staff member would be needed to serve as the head and main contact for this program. They would be the person that is the go-to person in this situation, especially like given that this is taking place in the library itself. We also do require of meeting space and study rooms. When they are having this going on, we would like to have the ability for reserving a meeting space ahead of time with the allotted time, which would be beneficial. The meeting space would be a benefit for larger groups, and individuals would be encouraged to reserve a study room for private study. This would be great for just very small groups if they are learning the English language. In larger space for a meeting room for larger groups would be beneficial as well in this situation. And given that this is taking place in a library, you want to make sure that you have this done ahead of time, especially with different events that are going on in the library. With that being said, we are also proposing a community partnership with local universities. For that, we have to thank to Anderson County Library System's location. There are several universities in the area that could be potential partners. The Anderson University is in the immediate area of the library, and it offers a program for those considering becoming English as a secondary language teachers, which is in the College of Education. We also hope to reach out to the university through the College of Education for a potential partnership to see if there will be students willing to volunteer their time to tutor for the program, as the library unfortunately does not have the resources or staff for language tutoring itself. This will give students a valuable experience that the library could vouch for, and would also help the library offer this service for tutors with knowledge and training for teaching in English. This is also included for those who are in the Clemson University, as well as the Tri-County Technical College, as well as those are those colleges that are in the immediate area for Anderson County as well. Another thing that I did want to point out is for our SWAT, our major strength is the available meeting spaces, study rooms, and resources. It is easily accessible via the bus route for many individuals in the community, and there is going to be a dedicated staff and volunteers. We also have a community trust with the library and an interest in the program as well, especially with the Hispanic community. We also want to point out our weaknesses with this program. There is a possible budgeting for materials based on the needs and attendance. We don't know how many people will be interested in this. With interest, you want to be able to have the amount of books or materials needed to be able to perform this program. There may be a limited space if there is a high attendance, depending on the amount of people attending. You want to make sure that we have enough space for everybody to be able to feel comfortable and also be able to listen to the people who are tutoring this program. We also want to point out that there may be a lack of marketing if it's not done properly. It could also be done in English and Spanish for those who are wanting to get that put out there. It's just a matter of making sure that people are able to translate the words correctly in Spanish. And another thing I do want to point out for a weakness would be the staffing and volunteers shortage and challenges. If there's not enough people that are willing to volunteer, or there's no librarian that is available, that will put a shortage for us as the group that is dedicating this program for the Hispanic community. But I don't see that this would be a huge issue, especially when you have the local university nearby, and there are potential people who want to have that experience and internship and connections, really. We also wanted to point out our opportunities, which can help build the community partnerships. as well as an outreach with our online Patreons via videos. For those who are not willing to go to the library itself in person or are unable to, they are able to at least be able to have the ability to watch them online on the library's application as well, which would be beneficial for those that are non-users. And we also want to make sure that we have the new technology available for our Patreons as well, such as translations, like mechanical translations and whatnot. That would definitely be something that we want to be able to have an opportunity to provide and have the materials needed for everybody. We also want to make sure that we are meeting the community needs for our non-native English speakers, which is a huge thing, especially since there's thousands of people in this community that are not native English speakers. So there is a high possibility of people who are not able to communicate, and being able to communicate in a highly dominated English speaking community, you want to be able to have the ability to communicate in English, in writing, reading, speaking, and talking for that matter, and hearing, sorry. But being able to have that ability is something that we want to make sure that our Patreons are given the opportunity to have. Now, there are potential threats with the possibility of low attendance or interest, budget cuts due to funding from the government. That is something that is going on in the library world now with the budget cuts. But we're not sure if that's going to be a potential issue with this program, really depending on how the state funding is dividing the funding itself to the local libraries. Then you also have the technological issues on the program irrelevance, and as well as a change in demographics for the non-native English speakers. There can be a high chance of them just leaving the community itself, and there would be no need for this program to be available if there is a change in the demographics of the non-native English speakers in the Anderson County community. That would be a potential threat in our situation for this program if it's not done properly. Now, the question in mind is, how are we going to evaluate this program's success? The way that we're going to be doing this is the success of this program will be evaluated through surveys and attendance. In the survey, we will have 5 lines for indication on how the program is a success and determine the strengths or weaknesses. This comes from the inspiration of the survey that the Beaufort County Library utilizes for their surveys in their programs and events to indicate if there has been anything that they need to do to improve in their programs. With this program being a necessity, this would be a great way to have pointers on where we can strengthen the program to ensure its success rate with the people of Anderson County. With that being said, our survey questions would be, what program did you attend? How did you hear about this program? On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, how much did you enjoy the program? Why did you rate it that way? What types of programs would you like to see in the future? These are great questions to be asking for our Patreons that are in the program that want to be able to either let us know how successful we are doing or what we can improve on, or what they want to have added to the library in program-wise. This will be beneficial for both the community and the library itself, and be able to have new Patreons and new users, and be able to have the non-users be able to become users in the library itself. So this will be beneficial for in both ways. With all of this in mind, we are hoping that this is a wonderful program that people will be interested in and be able to utilize during their time in Anderson County Communities Library. And with that being said, we would like to thank you all for listening to our program and listening to what we have to say. Thank you so much, and have a great day.